Play of the day, though, Ireland produced the best bit of rugby I've seen probably all weekend.
Tell me.
The front row. Not the scrum, because they got absolutely destroyed by the bomb squad. But my boy, Finlay Bealham, straight off the training ground, gets the ball at first receiver. You've got inside Cian Healy, who runs what we used to call a slice on the, but it's an inside ball. So he runs a slice to hold the inside defender. And then Kelleher goes through a little ball that they swap channels, goes straight through, feeds Conor Murray trying the sticks. I saw that and I rewound it a couple of times. I'm like, my God, that is the front row doing that. Class. So Finlay Bealham, shout out to him, and then tell the bomb squad that when they came off, Malcolm Marks, how good. He's got to be.
I don't want to say unreal, but he's, if you speak to any of the Springboks,
he's the best
which I
hooker
did,
in the world. He can't
they
get
think
in the
he's
team.
they think he's the best.
But obviously, they do it for a reason that they know that it's a super strength of them bringing him off the bench. Because he just takes it to another level. He wins breakdown penalties. The scrum at the end. I mean, there's being in reverse.
That's the thing. That's what it is.
How's your back as a second row in a scrum? Have you ever been in a scrum? Yeah, of course you have. Scotland.
No, we were unreal at the scrum.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in a couple. Playing for Leicester, actually, back in the day. We went back with
Alex
Alex Mourinho.
Hern,
motherfucker, legend. But we, very rarely go back like that. But there's nothing worse. And the thing is, for Ireland, you've prepped mentally, physically for weeks.
Yeah.
Knowing that that's coming, right? You know that that's coming. And there's nothing you can do. You may as well just press the button that goes beep,
beep,
and then beep, 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 gone. Yeah, and it takes out all the energy, but that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the South African heartbeat and foundation. But with South Africa, their attack, could see the evolution under Tony Brown. James Brown can see under Tony Brown.
Well, you talk about that first try they scored. The Irish fans are like, it was a forward pass from Khaleesi to Curtly Arensa. It wasn't, but you saw, and Jesse Creel gets a big shout out. He flattened up on the edge to get the ball. I think it was from Pollard. So he's flattened up on the edge to beat the drift from Ireland because they'd found the edge. And then a little bit of inexperience. Crowley was defending second last man, and then who steps into Khaleesi. But they picked them off on the edge. And that is, and I think Razzie's spoken about it, hasn't he? We know the South African way and what they've done to win World Cups and how good they've been, British and Irish Lions tours, and just the pure physicality. And that's how Jim fell in love with them even more and wants to have their babies. But their next evolution is putting attack on the edge like that. And Tony Brown I think he's a brilliant coach from what I've heard. You know, he's had stints in Japan and all that stuff. And New Zealand, he's a real thinker about how to evolve an attack. And geez, when you've got the monsters that they've got and you've got an attacking game and they've got some options at 10, and the evolution for them is having all that size and that power and what they've got with the monsters that they have, but then adding the layers of attack. And Jesse Creel, I thought at 13 was phenomenal. Their back three, whoever they pick, like Ches and Colby did the Ches and Colby thing and creates that try. Didn't see masses of him in the game, but him and Arensa, a couple of touches, try each, big difference makers. And, you know, watching the game on Saturday, right? Do you remember when you used to call Willie LaPoo?
Yeah.
How good is he now?
Wicked. Well, for
South Africa.
For South Africa.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
You were just calling him out when he was at Wasps, right?
But that's the thing with the South Africans. And this is the argument around rugby and how much you can play in a season at that level. You can't.
Well, South Africans play a whole season round now unless they're playing in Japan, don't they?
But at some point it will come back to bite them.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot go year on year on year playing like that.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, Sitter goes, I know if he was at the Sharks or the South African team
He'll
or
get
wherever.
looked after better at the Sharks than he would in Racing.
There you go.
Because they're going to want their pound of flesh next year after.
And that's the thing.
Jackie Lorenzetti, what about that? He says he's put on weight. He was invisible. Well, he put his weight to good use this weekend, didn't he?
Well, that's the thing. Him there in France, lack of physio. I'll say it, we've been there. We know the story. You're talking about one of the best players in the world. Needs to be managed. The amount of rugby he's played and motivated. I'm not saying that he's unmotivated or racing.
He looked motivated when he runs out leading the team.
Me.
Ah,
Of course.
South
And that is
Africa.
the thing that you're
Amazing.
dealing with the South Africans. I
Yeah.
know I go big at them, but you have to state what it is.
Yeah.
You're playing in a stadium like Loftus Versfeld in Pretoria. It's the first time you've been home since it's the first time you've been home since winning back-to-back World Cups.
Yeah. Proper heartland of rugby as well.
What you getting?
Yeah.
You're getting men that will do anything to win a game of rugby.
Yeah.
And some of them are fresher than others. And you're playing against an Ireland team who we went through last week and we spoke about all the different things like Leinster, long season for them, long season emotionally, physically, that them players have been through a few injuries.
Yeah.
Like you're doing well to stick in.
Yeah.
And it might be different next week in Durban.
Yeah.
Like it might be. But they've got injuries. South Africa are going to get better.
Well, Faz has said he's going to make a couple of changes, isn't he?
Does Jamie Osborne play 15? Like who have they got?
So they can go Frawley potentially.
Maybe.
Jimmy O'Brien has played a lot there.
It's such a big position against South Africa, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
And that's where Hugo Keenan goes off to the 7th and it's fine.
I think you've probably got to play Jimmy O'Brien.
Yeah.
But then it's hard on Osborne because you're giving him one shot. I'm not a big believer in one shot now.
But at 15, it's such a specialist position. And Andy Farrell knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Jamie Osborne didn't play well.
Yeah.
There was the first high ball that went up, a couple of positional things.
Yeah.
Again, judging superficially whilst
there ain't many
going to a Sabian concert, you know what I mean?
And I tell you now, the try that Curtly Aronson scores, people are like, it's because he's not playing that.
No, he's skinning anyone.
He's kidding anyone there when the fullback's coming across. Because all you're worried about is getting done on the outside for getting rinsed on the outside.
You ain't basing it on that.
No. But that's what people have said as well, which I don't think's right. But I mean, there's injury issues. Obviously, there's going to be a change at hooker, so Kelleher will start.
Scrum-half.
Casey, let's talk about that.
How bad?
Old teammates as well. And I watched it.
I don't know if the teammates has got anything to do with it.
Well, I watched it quite close. There's a few boys getting after your boy, RG.
I understand why.
And the Leinster boy. He was having a bit with Caleb Doris.
Of course.
And Ryan Baird.
Of course.
And they're going to be teammates next year. But who cares?
Shall I give you my view?
Yeah.
On it? I understand why people are annoyed because there's a few people calling it a dog shot.
Yeah.
The terminology that we use. But it's a very unfortunate thing to happen. So take out the fact, right, that RG Snyman's in at the side.
Yeah.
He whacks the arm of the 9. They don't. So
does he need to follow through like that?
No. He doesn't need to follow through like that, but he has. But how's he meant to know that Craig Casey's going to whack his back of the head on the floor? I know. So I understand what people are saying, but he's clearly gone through to monster him.
Yeah.
Which is what their mindset is.
Yeah.
But it's an accident. He's hit his head on the back, and it was hot. Let's get this straight. It's one of the worst injuries I've seen.
Yeah.
Because he was fucking out for the count.
Yeah.
And it's the back of the head, which is extremely dangerous part of the body.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a really bad part of the head to hit. We've seen with boxers and stuff like that when they've been hit on the back of the head. And it was
frightening.
It was frightening.
Yeah.
It really was. And he's back up on his feet, swapping jerseys with the clerk after, and the pictures have gone round. But that's as nasty gets. I'm not saying nasty from RG Snyman. He's going in there to do a job. People are counter-rucking. They're trying to get stuck into the scrum half. You look at across the board. You look at the Prem final. Let's bring it close to home. And you look at the hustle that was put on Alex Mitchell around that final, getting into the line, getting into the 9, TJ Perenard, the counter-rucking.
Yeah.
That's what's happening there. You need to slow down the play. You need to manage the speed of the breakdown. Firstly, RG's coming at the side. So he's
in at the side, and he's the biggest man on the field going against the smallest man on the field.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So I understand.
The aesthetics don't look good.
No, the aesthetically doesn't look good, but it's an unfortunate accident. He's not hit him thinking he's going to smash the back of his head on the floor.
No, I know, but I do question, does he know that the ball's gone?
Probably.
And does he need to finish that tackle like that?
But he has.
I know he has.
And no, he doesn't need to do that. The ball's gone. He's followed through. And it's horrible. And it's horrible. And it's nasty and it's gnarly. But the outcome was an accident.
Yeah.
That's
he's not deliberately intended that to happen.
Of course.
But I just question whether he needs to, when the ball's gone.
Well, he doesn't. No, you don't need to question it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do that, but that's what they do.
What would you do?
Well, I wouldn't have any kind of power to generate through there. Craig Casey will probably sit me on the arse. But by the way, he was awesome.
He played exceptionally
Craig
well.
Casey was awesome.
Yeah.
So he's going to be
a big loss.
Yeah. I know they've got Conor Murray that can come in, and Caelan Blade, who's been good for Conor.
Yeah.
But like
he was class.
Yeah, you're now down to your third choice 9. You've got.
How weird is that, saying Conor Murray is third choice 9 with his career?
But he's 65. That's what it is.
Yeah,
like, he's a good player.
Yeah.
But does he get the back line moving? Does he?
No, not at all.
Don't know.
Yeah.
And this is whereas Ireland, it's almost like the season is end. There needs to be a bit of a reboot. But they're going down to Durban instead to go again.
Yeah.
Where they're carrying on the circus and the hysteria around the Springboks.
Yeah.
Having won the World
rightly so.
Yeah, having won the World Cup.
I'm just surprised you're not out there leading the charge.
I was meant to be. I got asked to go pitch side with Drickus Duplessis and walk around holding his UFC middleweight championship belt, but I declined. I said, I'm going to Kasabian. I ain't doing that. They're like, please.
Shoot the runner.
Shoot the runner.
Yeah, I mean, Ireland, you just summed it up really well there, I think. They need the season to end after the game in Pretoria. And it's harsh. They'll go out and put on their best performance for their energy reserves with the players that are going to be missing. And, they might do something, but...
I hope they do. There's a part of me where, for the landscape of rugby and...
Imagine they go there and beat them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Imagine they go there and they do it.
Yeah. That would be amazing. But can you see it? Like we said about New Zealand, another week together, they're going to get better. Don't think South Africa really had any injuries. Their team is littered with class.
You can't stop a bench like that coming on. So it comes down to...
What about when they all run on together?
That's what I mean.
I'm like mountain, bigger mountain.
Have you seen...
Unit.
Have you seen their under-20s?
Yeah.
Rugby Pass posted a video of the... You look at that.
Tell the steak's being eaten now.
Oh, there's the last guy on there.
Didn't even know how big he was. Grobbler. Yeah.
I have never seen a bigger 19-year-old.
Yeah.
20-year-old. And then you put that
Thick
against
well.
Scotland lads who are,
they're having a can of iron brew.
And working in Greggs. And eating Greggs.
Oh, yeah, I'd love a Greggs.
I said it to a few people in Scotland. I said, have you seen what's coming round the mountain when they come?
When they come.
Have you seen what's coming round the mountain when they come?
Yeah, we know South Africans are naturally big people.
And you can't stop that.
No.
So you can try and change the laws around the scrum.
Is that what you're doing at World Rugby?
I'm just going all in.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Reality, you talk about the law changes.
Reality.
Nothing happened. Scrums still were dominant at the weekend.
Yes.
Maybe Amish Kelly didn't get some of the calls right for New Zealand and England. We won't go there again. But let's not depower the scrum because it's an integral part of the game. And actually watching the games at the weekend, scrums were allowed to dominate. So these new changes by World Rugby to where people are like, it's depowered the scrum. It hasn't. And the South African scrum got a penalty try. The Australia scrum, don't know how. I do know how because Wales are pretty thin in the front row. But they dominated at scrum time. New Zealand dominated at scrum against England and got rewards. And so the scrum is an integral part of it. Just good luck facing whoever is in a South African jersey wanting to scrummage because my boy, can they scrummage?
We're going to make a prediction. Yay or nay? Can Ireland do it? Last game of the season for them in Durban.
Unfortunately, I hope they can. I don't think they can.
All right. I agree with you. I hope they can. I want to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah. Are you going to say they're going to win?
Oh, so I'm happy. It doesn't bother me. I'm bothered.
He's trying to win back fans.
Ireland, you're going to do it.
Yeah. I hope they do, but I can't say
I hope.
Yeah, I can't say it. Listen, South Africa, they've got the bit between their teeth. I think they were frustrated with people saying Ireland were the best team in the world, and whoever said that, just who's got the World Cup trophy? And I know South Africa weren't playing when Ireland were supposedly the best team in the world, but they weren't. The big dogs are the South Africans until someone knocks them off their perch, which may be New Zealand in the Rugby Championship. But looking at that squad and the depth they've got, they're in to be number one team for quite some time.
Pod.
Rugby pod.